Welcome to Memories Made with Jen Gallacher, a scrapbooking process series. In this series, I'll create one layout start to finish that focuses on a special memory I want to preserve. I'll share some tips and tricks, as well as point you to some products you might consider if you choose to recreate the layout or to document a similar memory. Today I'm going to focus on a couple of photos that I just love about my daughter, and I want to give her a special message. I always try to incorporate a few layouts in my albums that are advice driven, because how often are your teenagers going to listen to you, or even your kids? So this is a great way to sneak in little tidbits of advice. They're so happy with a cute page that they're comfortable with whatever you put in their scrapbooks. So this is some pattern paper from My Mind's Eye, and this drove the entire color palette and style. You'll notice the font on here is extremely whimsical, and so everything I picked to go with the photos, which also happen to be summery in nature, coordinate with this pattern paper. So I'm going to have these papers somewhat go off the edge. The secondary pattern paper is from the Scoot collection from Echo Park Paper, and it matched very well with what I was trying to achieve on this layout, so I'm going to incorporate that as well. I don't typically work from one collection kit, although doing that is very easy and a quick and easy way to coordinate all of your elements. Typically I start with pattern paper, and then I start shopping the other supplies in my stash. And that's how I determine the colors and elements I want to use. So for this particular layout, I wanted whimsical, colorful elements. So we'll go ahead and adhere this to the top of the layout. And it has fun little words like play, run, and skip, which also work with the theme of this layout. They also have another version of this in boy colors. So you have a lot of options. If you have a boy instead of a girl, you could recreate it with the darker, more primary color scheme. All right, then here on the bottom, I have some pattern paper from Pebbles, and I drew this blue from the blue in the alphabet, and it's slightly darker. Again, I'm going to trim it down to make sure that it fits on my layout. And instead of placing it down on the layout, I'm just going to leave it here for right now. Now, you can always place your photos directly on your layout, which I could do for this one, and that would look just fine and very cute. But any excuse to add something darling is more fun than just leaving it plain. So Polaroids are very hot right now, and I have a teal one and a pink one, and these are both from Heidi's Swap. And I'm going to go ahead and place the photos inside. And to do that, you open up the Polaroid and you adhere them to the back of the Polaroid. Now, if you're using a die cut machine, there are lots of manual and digital die cut shapes in a Polaroid shape, and you wouldn't necessarily need to put it in the way that I'm doing it. Now, if there's any excess photo, flip it over, and using your scissors, just trim off the excess paper. Make sure you're not cutting through the edge of the Polaroid. Just use it as a guide. And again, we'll add another photo to the second one. You can trim these from 4x6 photos, or you can custom print your photos to get them exactly the size that you want. Again, flip it over and trim off any excess. It won't matter if your cut is straight or not, because you're going to flip over the top and adhere them. And I'm going to close the pink one by adding some glue dots right here on the edge. And glue dots help it stay down a little bit better than maybe traditional dot runner would. And I suggest the glue dots, but if you have an adhesive that you like that you feel is strong enough, then go for it. Now, before I put this one down, I wanted to embellish the frame just a little bit further. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some ribbon. This is some American Crafts gross grain ribbon, and I'll just tie it in a knot. I'll just do 2 of these. And I cut probably about 6 inches off. I'd use fabric scissors for these. If you invest in fabric scissors, I have found that in my family, they just go for any scissors, and fabric scissors tend to dull after cutting paper. So either buy them in a color that you don't normally use and then ban the family from that particular color, which is what I do. Mine are pink. Or else I tied a ribbon to another pair that I owned, and I just told the family, hey, don't use that particular set of scissors. That way they stay nice and sharp. So fabric is nicely cut with any of your fabric scissors, and you can find those at craft stores and even at places like Walmart and some of your other crafting stores. So now we can go ahead and close it, and I can move these ribbons wherever I want so they don't obscure her face. Now before I place the pink one down on the page, I want to wrap some twine around it. So I have some crochet twine. It would also be cute with some yellow twine or some pink twine, any of the colors in here, orange twine. Use the pattern paper that has the most color to inspire your color scheme. And then just wrap it around the bottom here because I'm going to adhere some tags, and I want to make sure that the tags will stick and can hang from this frame. So kind of messily wrap it around as many times as you like. Depending on the thickness of your twine may determine what you want in terms of length, and then just create a loose knot. All right, then I have a lot of stickers that I thought coordinated well that come from Bella Boulevard, and these are 2 tiny tag stickers, and I'm going to adhere the cherry one first, and I'm going to simply thread the crochet twine up through the sticker. Now if you want to remove the stickiness from the backing of the sticker, all you need to do is put it on a piece of felt several times, and it will start to lose that tacky edge on the back. Or if that doesn't bother you and you're comfortable working with it sticky, then go ahead and just leave it the way that it is. And I'm just leaving it the way that it is. So you can start to see how it looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and tie that into a bow if I have enough twine, and if not, we'll just do, looks like we have enough to do just a knot. And then trim off your excess. And then using your fingers, just slowly adjust the twine until it moves up and down that Polaroid frame. So we can go ahead and adhere the Polaroid frames to the page. And I like doing this kind of off-centered design. It's a little bit different and it's a little more interesting than my normal straight-on grid design. And we want to align the frames so that they are parallel to one another. And just leave a little bit of space between. All right, I'm going to be creating some things on the bottom, and I wanted to create a little scene. And to do that, we are going to be using some green cardstock. And I have pre-trimmed it, and I want to create some grass. Now, the very easiest way to do this, if you want fringe grass, is to get some fringe scissors. These are from Martha Stewart. You can also look for scissors that are used to cut herbs because they accomplish the same thing. You can see that it has multiple edges. It's basically a scissor stacked on top of a scissor. And you just cut it several times. So perhaps you're not ready to invest in those scissors. You can accomplish the same effect. It'll look a little more chunky if you hand cut about the same in, and you can cut some thick and some thin. I have already done this with this fringe scissors, and I'm going to adhere this at the bottom of the layout, right across the edge. And this particular pattern paper has a line in it, so that's a great way to easily align the edges. Trim off any excess by turning it over. And now we can go ahead and put this teal portion on the bottom. Now I'm going to be adding some flowers, and I will go ahead and link you to a lot of different flower options. These particular ones are some little yellow bicycle ones from their old spring collection. They're nice and they're felt. You could create these your own. If you have manual die cuts, you can cut through felt and then you could stitch flowers. I'm going to go ahead and add some stems that I've cut from cardstock in the same green as the grass. And we'll adhere the smaller one first. And this one has backing on it, adhesive backing, but I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more. And then we'll add the second stem. What would be cute is if you like machine stitching, is if you machine stitch through some of these details. Or you can leave it the way that it is. And again, I'm going to add an additional glue dot to this orange sticker. We'll slightly overlap the bottom of that so you can see how that's beginning to look. All right, now I'm going to add a few additional stickers. The sticker is from October Afternoon and I have cut it. And I'm going to place it right here at the bottom. And then I'm going to take another sticker. This one is from Jelly Bean Soup. And you can see that I am just adding different stickers from different companies. As long as they match the feel of my layout and the colors, then they work just fine. So I always keep my supplies according to color. You can store yours however you like. And we'll put this across here. Now for the top of the layout, I wanted to add a little more detail. So this is a butterfly sticker from Echo Park Paper, and it is chipboard. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that at the top of my layout as well. And I'm going to add an additional glue dot. They are sticky, but I really like to have a little bit more stick to it. And then I've taken an orange button. I'm working with this orange and I wanted to bring it back in, and I've tied it with twine. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the center of the butterfly. Be sure to think about layers on your projects. Can you layer the stickers? Can you layer the chipboard elements? How can you add some additional dimension? This is a tag from October Afternoon that I'm going to add to the top of the teal photo frame. And then I'm going to use some of the Tim Holtz stickers, or you could print your own, or you could stamp. And I'm going to put the word forever there. So love her forever. Now for the title, I picked some chipboard stickers from Bella Boulevard, and it was the same theme as this particular sticker set. And it was chunky and fun, and so I wanted to use that for my title. And I'm going to go ahead and place these down. And I'm going to divide the title, meaning I'm going to have a two-tiered title. So even though the word is a little bit longer than I have room for on my layout, one way to remedy that is to simply place elements on the second layer. It's a little more whimsical, it's a little more interesting for the eye, and you may want to add some additional adhesive to that particular portion. I'm going to add some photo corners to the top corner and the bottom corner. These are from Canson. You can start to see how the elements are whimsical and start to work together. Now, how I wanted to add journaling is I printed it on craft cardstock. I like the way that craft serves as a neutral, and I am going to create kind of a pennant, and so in order to do that, I am going to gently fold it in half, and I'll trim about 1/2 inch in, and then trim from corner to the cut. That gives me even pennants on both sides. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the center of that teal photo frame. And if there's room, you can overlap it onto the sticker, or if you need to, overlap it underneath the sticker. And then I want a little bit more dimension here at the top, so I'm going to use these Boy Crazy stickers. They're enamel, and although this is for the boy line, I liked the way the yellow matched what I had going on with the butterfly. And so I'll just add some yellow dots here. You could also make them so they are the butterfly's travel, where the butterfly has been, and that's kind of fun. We'll go ahead and do that. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Memories Made. Please see the link below for the complete supply list for creating this layout. I will also include similar products in case some of the items are out of stock. Look for a new Memories Made video coming soon.